The mindset that was keeping me morbidly obese. For those of you guys who are new here, hello, my name is Jasmine, and I'm so glad to have you. And in this video, I want to talk to you guys about the mindset that I had that was keeping me morbidly obese. And in case you did not know, I did lose 100 pounds, and I did it the old-fashioned way through eating less, moving more. I hired a personal trainer, and I also went to counseling and healed my traumas. Okay, the mindset that I used to have when I was 340 pounds, that was my heaviest, was that I'm too far gone and there's nothing that I can do to fix it. And that's kind of depressing to have that mindset, to really think that no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, that you won't get the results that you want. That's depressing. And that's why you keep doing what you're doing, because you've lost hope, you've lost faith, and most importantly, you don't even recognize how much control you have over your own life. You have a defeated mindset, and that's what I had, right? And so I would try, I would, do good for a week or two, maybe even 3. I might lose like 2 to 5 pounds, but then I just felt like, oh my gosh, like it's gonna take me forever to lose all of this weight. I might as well just give up, right? And so I would yo-yo diet. So I would lose weight, gain it back, and then some. Lose a little bit, gain that back, plus more. It was just this toxic cycle of yo-yo dieting because I really felt defeated, and I felt that losing 100 pounds was just not something I was going to be able to do. Or even if I was able to lose, let's say 20 or 30 pounds, well, I've proven to myself over and over and over again that I don't know how to lose weight and keep it off. So all I'm going to end up doing is just gaining it back and then some, and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And just so you guys know, I am 6'3". And so I had to get out of that mindset. And the way I did it was, one, through counseling. And it was really just me learning how to love myself. When I did decide to start losing weight, I had already been in counseling for like 8 months, right? And I was already working through my traumas and stuff. And as I started to heal, as I started to forgive myself for things that I was battling with internally, I developed self-love. And when you develop self-love, you just start treating yourself differently than how you used to. The way you see yourself changes. The way that you care about yourself changes. The habits that you have change because you genuinely love yourself, right? People can say all day long that they love themselves, but they'll prove that through their actions. They'll prove that through the people that they spend time with, right? They'll prove that through the things that they do for themselves. People can say they love themselves, but you're hanging around toxic people who tear you down. You don't love yourself, because if you loved yourself, you wouldn't tolerate that type of behavior from people. People will say they love themselves, but they still participate in, behavior that's toxic to themselves. So for instance, maybe they do drugs, or maybe they drink every single day. This is something I used to do. Maybe they binge eat, something else that I used to do, right? People who love themselves, they treat themselves with respect. And as I started to develop this self-love, I just naturally started to respect myself more. I started to just change the way I was eating because I recognized that the foods that I was eating was causing me harm. You guys, when I was at my heaviest, 340 pounds, I was pre-diabetic. I had high blood pressure. I had high cholesterol. And honestly, I hated the way I felt being 340 pounds. I made another video, and I'll try to remember to attach it, of all the things that changed about my body once I lost weight. I didn't have much energy. My joints were hurting. It was just not a good time. I was always sitting on the couch. I was a couch potato. I never moved my body. I didn't prioritize sleep at all. So it was just a lot of things that I was doing that just did not show that I loved myself, right? But like I said, as I started healing and going through counseling and working through my traumas, well, things just naturally started changing. I started moving more. I started eating better. I started, getting rid of my habits of drinking heavily every single day. I just started to change my behavior because the way I felt about myself was changing. And that's how I started losing weight. For anyone who's struggling with weight loss, the biggest thing that I can tell you is you can lose weight. I think a lot of times we want to lose weight so quickly. And that's why, at least for myself, That's why I was struggling with not only losing weight, but keeping it off, because in my mind, I'm like, well, how am I going to lose 100 pounds? Like, it's going to take forever. Failing to realize, what else do you have to do? What else do you have to do? Like, if you're not losing weight, 9 times out of 10, you're gaining it, because most people don't even know how to maintain. Most people are slowly getting bigger, right? Well, if you're not locked in on a weight loss journey, what else do you have to do? There's nothing else that you have to do other than gain weight. So why not just lock in and lose the weight no matter how much time it takes? Because there's nothing else that you have to do. If you're not focusing on losing weight, then all you're going to do is gain it. So what is the difference? Either way, your weight, the number on that scale is going to fluctuate. It's going to change. So wouldn't you rather it go down than go up? So why do we put such this emphasis on losing weight so quickly, and then you feel defeated? Maybe you do have to lose 100 pounds. Maybe you have to lose 200 pounds. And you feel so defeated in that number and how long it's going to take. But my question still remains, what else do you have to do? What else you got to do? You don't have anything else to do. Like, what are we talking about? It took you years to put that weight on in the first place. That's the uncomfortable reality. I did not gain 100 pounds in 6 months. I know some people can do that. That wasn't my story, okay? Me being 340 pounds was years of overeating. That was years of not moving my body. That was years upon years of emotional eating. That didn't happen overnight. That took years. So the delusion that we have, that even though it took us years to get to this weight, whatever it is, we think that we can lose it in 2 weeks. We think that we can lose it in a month. It's delusional thinking. And when you really break it down like that, you'll start to see it's silly. It's nonsense. There's nothing else that you have to do. So why does the idea of sticking to a weight loss journey for, let's say, 2 years, why does that depress you so much? What else are you going to be doing in those 2 years? Gaining weight? Probably. So just lock in on your weight loss journey. You have more control over your life than you think that you do. I've said this in previous videos, but a lot of times we will give external things control. We'll say things like, oh, I can't lose weight because I'm addicted to Chick-fil-A. No, you're not addicted to Chick-fil-A. What you're addicted to is binge eating. What you're addicted to is not being able to control your emotions. What you're addicted to is the high that food gives you in that short period of time. That's what you're addicted to. You're not literally addicted to Chick-fil-A. The problem is, at least for myself, I didn't have foods that were healthy that excited me because I was always eating unhealthy foods. I was always doing fast food. That was my normal. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I was always eating fast food. I didn't have a meal at that time, a go-to meal that was healthy, that was under 600 calories, that I thought was absolutely delicious, right? That's the problem. But when you find those meals, when you find things that you truly enjoy to eat that are healthy for you, well, then it's not hard to not go to fast food, because the meal that you have waiting for you at home is just as good, if not better, right? Myself, I had a defeated mindset. And a lot of times, too, the people that you're around can contribute to that. At that time, everyone around me, nobody cared about their health, right? Nobody was tracking calories. Nobody was tracking their steps. Nobody was doing that, right? And so it was hard for me to stay locked into that because that's not the environment I was around. Sometimes it's going to force you, no matter what it is you're trying to change in your life, it's going to force you to spend time by yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I started spending a lot of time by myself when I started losing weight, because I didn't want to be around people who were not prioritizing weight loss, because that's what I need to do for myself. It doesn't mean that these people were bad people and that the way they're living their life is bad. No, it just wasn't aligned with how I wanted to live my life. And in order for me to detox from sugars and fast food and stuff like that, I had to just get by myself, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And when you start losing weight, when you start getting healthy, when you start getting active, you're going to end up finding new friends who prioritize those things, who don't give themselves excuses as to why they eat like shit every day, who don't give themselves excuses as to why they don't move their body and do 30 minutes at the gym or whatever it is. That's going to be your new circle of people. That's going to be your tribe, because those people are aligned with the values that you are building for yourself. Birds of a feather flock together. What's the phrase? Birds of a feather flock together. You are a reflection of the 5 people you spend the most time around. And if you look around and everyone around you is overweight, obese, well, you would be a fool to think that you wouldn't be, okay? You're not above the program. If you want to get better, you're going to have to do better. And a lot of times that means A, either spending time by yourself, or B, finding a new group of people who align with the direction in which you want to go. And when I started to accept that, it became easier to lose weight. Getting around people who are where you want to be and are doing the things that you want to do, well, that's just going to push you to be better, because you see something that's obtainable. You no longer have this defeated mindset, because see, for me, I'm overweight or obese. Everyone around me is obese. I'm going to always be obese. But when I started going to the gym, I started to see, and I go to Gold's Gym, there's a lot of very, very, very in shape people. So now my trajectory has changed. Now I'm like, okay, well, I can achieve this body because I see it right in front of me. I see this woman, she looks great. I aspire to look like that too. Maybe it is possible. Maybe I can do it, right? I'm telling you, lose the weight. If you have been struggling, if you've had a defeated mindset, if you battle with emotional eating, getting counseling, I cannot make this up. Doing those things is by far the best decision that I ever made in my entire life, and I love it here. I love the body I'm in now. I love the energy I have. I love how active I am. I love how healthy I've become. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I no longer have high blood pressure. I no longer have high cholesterol, all because I decided to change my mindset. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you have to say. Also, you guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to join the Patreon. The link is down below in my description. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.